Just reading through the artificial intelligence provisions of the SAG-AFTRA deal, and I can see why so many people online are upset, especially these, working actors who are not A-listers. They are pissed, and I get it because, whoa, I mean, some of the stuff is pretty nuts. Like, if you're going to be subject to what they call an employment-based digital replica, right? So you're working on a movie and they want to make a digital replica of you. You get 48-hour advance notice prior to services for creation, and then you have those 48 hours to basically give your consent. So what happens if you don't give your consent? Presumably, they're going to go find somebody else, right? You're not an A-lister, so you're sort of interchangeable as a performer. It gives them basically a method of just waiting until they find somebody who says yes. And then it's so interesting the way that the sort of the pay rate works. You get no additional pay if you're what's called a Schedule F performer, and that's typically a performer who's sort of a kind of a lower level actor who gets paid this sort of flat rate for a certain amount of time. So again, if you're not the most powerful people in Hollywood, you just don't have much in the way of clout to push back against this. And then there's all kinds of crazy stuff around being able to, for instance, so you create this digital replica, and then you're able to use it to change the performance. So you can basically have, it does away with reshoots, which I can understand the logic. If you're a producer, you don't want to have to pay for reshooting, right? Which is increasingly a thing that has to happen. You want to instead just go in and digitally alter somebody's performance. But reshoots are a big way that people make the bare minimum they need to in order to qualify for benefits. Anyway, there's just like, one of the things that I talk about so much in my book and in the reporting that I do on AI is this sort of downward pressure on wages and this kind of broader pressure on the market and on labor in the market. That pressure is on with this summary agreement. So I can really understand why so many performers who are not A-listers are really worried about this.